Hi, I'm Kelsey with VanCity Training Camp. I am here to do day 3 with you, the final day of this full body intro to strength training program. I'm excited. I'm going to give lots of instructions and demonstrations of all of the stuff that we're going to do. First things first is our warm-up, and I hope that you guys kind of have it memorized now that we've done it a couple times together. So same thing, feet nice and wide. We're going to shift our weight to one side, stretching through the inner thigh. Maybe you reach for the floor, maybe the toe pops up, whatever feels good for you. We're going to start with 10. I want to keep both heels on the floor. We talked about this through day 1 and day 2, that those are kind of indicators of tight points in your body. So try not to shy away from them. Maybe you're up high, maybe this toe isn't quite coming up, and work in those tight spots. That's 8, 9, and 10. And then I'm going into my long lunge twist, or the world's greatest stretch, as it's also known. So nice stretch in this hip. I'm going to twist towards the leg that's forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Nice stretch, and switch sides. This warm-up moves pretty fast, but you can get a lot out of it. This is a beautiful stretch and a nice way to start the workout. Maybe you have 5 minutes during the day and you're looking for something to do to get your body moving. I love working through this. All right, 5 done. Next one, feet about hip width apart. We're gonna start by stretching the hamstrings, so reach for the toes, sit the butt down, my arms are straight and they're inside my knees. Maybe a yoga squat is better for you, but again, finding those tight points, you're not slouching and collapsing, you're making the most of every movement. I'm gonna walk out to a plank, hips down, chest open, and we're gonna cycle through 5 of these. 4 more, toe touch, squat, walk it out, hamstrings, hips, spinal movement, nice stretch, and again, making the most of each bit of movement that you're doing and setting yourself up nicely for the workout today. There's 4. And last one, 5. And if I am moving too fast for you, that's okay. Just pause me, turn me off, and take your time through this. Make the most of it for you. And we're gonna finish how we started. In all my group classes, when I run this warm-up, this confuses them, and they keep getting in a cycle of doing the same thing over and over again, but it's just a final 10 Cossack Squat, and I've already warmed up a little bit more. I feel a little looser, and that's just what I want. I want you to start checking in with your body, see how you feel, and move for what feels right today, not what someone's telling you. Really get in touch with your tight spots and how you feel. All right, we have 10 done. So we're gonna move over to the mat. The initial part of the warm-up is great for mobility, physically getting warm and setting your intention for the workout. This next part, I really want you to get in tune with strength and mechanics and how everything's moving. So we're gonna start with a clamshell, which is easy, and you've seen lots of this, and people saying they're good or not good, worth it or not worth it. What I want is for you to be able to bring your knee up using your glute, this top part of the glute med, for 20 reps. Yes, it's easy. It might not be easy for some people, but tapping into that and knowing how to move your body and achieve the strength in that like small little area to do one little thing is important and kind of a nice way to set us up for today. So we're gonna go 20 on each side, 19, 20. I'm gonna switch. And same thing, other side. Really finding a place to put your knees that you are feeling the glutes. So a lot of times you'll feel the top part of the thigh, which is another function of the body to lift the knee, but we only want the glute. So maybe you have to go really small to feel it. Maybe you have to adjust your stance to feel it. But really take this time to tap in and do each movement properly. 10 more. And the glute med does a lot to stabilize the hips. I'm also keeping my core nice and tight, pelvic floor, and all of those things can impact your squat. So even if you're a really diligent lifter, you're just getting back into strength training, this is all really valuable to keep you healthy and moving well. Okay, 20 done. So 20 to 30 seconds rest between each of these movements. This next one is for the shoulder blades. So I have my head down, arms out. I'm gonna point my thumbs up to the ceiling, and I'm gonna squeeze my shoulder blades for 20. And you wanna completely relax your neck down. I was kind of lifting up there so you guys could hear me. But yeah, completely relax your head down. You want no neck involved in this. All shoulder blade. 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, so 20 reps, 20 seconds break. And we're gonna do one more set of each. So one more clamshell. I'm gonna start on my right side again. Okay, so knees bent, head supported, and I'm lifting my top leg. You can add a band to this, but it is really about tapping in to the glute med, doing the work. Also, a lot of people I find will roll their hip back. But you want this hip bone pointing forward, and right away, even as experienced as you might be, in the first 2 reps, you want to be able to feel your glute. So I'm already there, and stay connected to that. And last one. On day 2, we had a kickstand side plank with an option to lift the top leg, which is quite challenging. It's a harder lever than this clamshell. So I'm gonna show you if you had great success with that and it was feeling good. For the clamshell, you can do this side plank clamshell. So I'm gonna lift my hips up off the mat and lift my top leg, sit the butt down and back up. And we're gonna move through 20 of these. So you're keeping the integrity of the movement, everything that I said before, that the glute is doing the work. And 20 reps, and you're even gonna get a lot of the glute that's down is gonna burn as well because it's helping bring the hip up. So this is a great progression if you were finding that clamshell too easy. But a lot of those classics are good and they're there for a reason, and even rehabbing athletes, people that are really experienced, we come back to those simple exercises. So it's nice to tap into that. I think I have one more. Good. All right, 20 to 30 seconds, but I'm gonna start this one right away. So again, it's easier if you have the palms facing down. It's a little bit more challenging for your shoulder blades and your scapula to lift the thumbs up. See how you feel. No neck, 0 neck, all shoulder blade. 10 to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Okay, warm up done. And I'm going to meet you guys in the workout. First exercise in this series is a heel step down, heel drop step down. So I wanted to show you a couple options to do this. This platform is a little bit lower. And what I'm going to do is hook my heel, my back heel underneath the box, tap the ground, and back up. So I'm hooking my heel under, tapping the ground, and back up, tap, and back up. And our tempo is 1-0-1-0 on this, so it's fast, kind of like our first exercise on day 1. And this exercise is great for stabilizing the hips as well as a lot of glutes. If this is already too much, then I would recommend holding onto a pole. We have lots of options in the gym. You could hold onto a squat rack to be able to get this done. My favorite version of this, which I do find a lot of people can do fairly quickly, if it's not week 1, maybe week 1 you're there, you come over and we use the wall. So the wall doesn't give you a ton of support, just a little bit of support. And then we have a larger step down, so a little bit more range of motion. So I'm gonna hook my heel and my toe under this box, tap, and back up. I think I have 10 more on my right side, and I'm working to keep my knee pressing out and not collapsing in, and I can really feel the tension in my glutes and my thighs, and staying diligent with that tempo. Last 3, 2, 1, and switch. All right, left side, 20 reps. Again, this is a short range of motion, similar to our day 1, which was the Poliquin step up. So I have nice balance with day 1 and day 3, different versions of a kind of heel down, step up, stabilizing the hips. Last 10, again, I'm talking, I'm losing track of my numbers. 7, and great glute strengthening exercise. And you have stability and support from the wall. 2, and last 1. Woo, okay. Legs on fire. Next one, we've got a 30-second break, is a seated row. I'm lucky in this gym that I have lots of options for seated row. This one is a dual cable system. So there's 2 pulleys, which means that I have to stabilize each arm individually. If you don't have it in your gym, that's okay. I would use that V-grip bar, which is a little bit closer, and a neutral grip. This neutral motion you'll see a lot through the program. We had it pull down, we had a TRX pull up, a lot of our pressing. Just an easier way to move through the shoulders, the scapula, and the shoulder blades, as opposed to pronating right away. Everyone needs to come back through these cycles. They're all good. This is kind of like your OG lift. So I'm sitting up nice and tall, nice posture. I'm gonna row back, pushing my shoulders away from my ears so I don't get traps up. And then 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, row, 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna cycle through that tempo for 17 to 20 reps. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And I don't lean back. Leaning back and leaning forward really change the range of motion. You can be specific with your back row and have instances where you utilize that. Maybe you take on momentum, a jockey row, but for this, for coming back to your OG lifts and strength, hold that posture, be really deliberate with your technique and tempo. Last 3, 2, and 1. Okay. 30 seconds, set 2, we're going back to the wall for set 2 of our step-ups. In the Poliquin step-ups on day 1, it was 25 to 30 reps. So I'm gonna increase this on set 2 to 20 reps, okay? So holding onto the wall for some light support. I'm gonna tap my heel down and up, and we're going for 25 reps. So really be diligent that you are not tapping your heel, rolling down to your toe. It is just the heel. Stay consistent, pressing your knee out. We are working to really set up some nice mechanics for phase 2. So everything here has a purpose, and I want you guys feeling nice and strong after 5 weeks to move in the next phase. We've done a lot of single leg work, balancing everything out. And I think I have last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Left side, same thing. Hook, top. 7. So you should be getting a lot of glute sensation out of this. Control, help from the wall. And just keep firing through these reps. It's 10, 9, 8, 7, 5. Keep pushing your knee out. Only the right heel is touching right now. I am not rolling to my toe. And last 1. Woo, and that'll get your heart rate up for sure. 30 seconds, seated row. Coming up. I mentioned this in the other 2 days. 30 seconds is a pretty standard rest time for full body training. Maybe there'd be, especially with this high of rep, there might be times where you'd manipulate that, but 30 seconds is standard. That doesn't mean in week 1, 30 seconds would be doable for you. You might need to do 45 seconds or a minute, but again, tapping into your body and what you're feeling, and then challenging yourself week to week, shorten rest periods as you adapt to training, which is also kind of cool to see that maybe after you've done this first week, you're adapting and you can take a shorter rest time. So this one is 17 to 20 reps in this program. Anytime we do these pulling exercises, you're gonna feel your hands, your forearms, maybe up into your biceps more than you start to notice your back. That doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. You just have to keep progressing week to week with the exercise. We want to have strong hands, forearms, biceps, to be able to do lots of work in the next phase. So this is a great opportunity to continue strengthening them. Whew. Last 3, last 2, and last 1. Awesome. Okay, 30 seconds, 1 set to go, and I'm gonna go for 30 reps. I'm gonna go big. You don't have to. I'm gonna write this as 20 to 30 reps and see how you feel with the exercise. Maybe you are holding on to more of a pole or something for support. And just making sure you're tracking properly, you're not caving in, you are pressing out. All right, 5 seconds. All right, final set, 30 reps, tap and up, 1 second tempo. Maybe you enjoy the faster tempo, but you want to be deliberate with every bit of tempo that you have, every movement that you do. 10 done. Final 10. Three, 2, 1. Awesome. Woo, that burned. Okay. Other side. Left. Oh, okay, other side, left side. All right, tap and up. Pressing that knee out. Only my right heel is tapping the ground right now. Consistent with every rep. Last 10. I just finished a phase with a new client on these, and she did awesome. I think she loved to hate these. But as we moved into week 5 of her training today, which was a new program, man, she was so stable. She did so well. And it was through doing work like this that set her up nicely for today. Ooh, so as much as these burn, ooh, they are worth it. Those definitely got me. Okay, 30 seconds. 1 more row. Last time. Breathing, settling myself before this last one. Full body work is no joke. A lot of conditioning involved, moving from big lower body exercises to big upper body exercises. Squeeze the shoulder blades. 17 to 20 reps. Abs tight. I am not compromising my form. I'm staying diligent. Final 3, final 2, final 1. All right. First section is done. I feel like that was way easier than day 2. Maybe not for you, but I loved that. 2 of my favorite exercises together. And I will see you in part 2 of this for our B series. Get some water, have a rest, and I'll meet you there. We are back for our B series. So this first exercise, lots of mobility today, lots of single leg work. I don't know if you're gonna love me or hate me, but these are great, and again, setting us up for later. So it's worth the time that you put in now. This first one we already did in the warm-up, so you're already ahead of the game, you already know how this works. But now I'm gonna start to check for depth, and we're doing lots of reps of these. So I'm gonna use this bench as a guide, so I'm shifting my weight to the side and tapping. So here I'm not caving in my knee is following where my toe is going, and I have a nice straight leg here. I'm gonna come back up to the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, tap, up, 1, 2, 3, tap, up. You can adjust this height. Maybe you have a high box, and then you have an indicator of where you're landing, and then graduate down to something like this. Or one of the things that I'm going to use today is this medicine ball with these risers. Usually every gym has these, so it's pretty accessible to find, and it gives you a good guide of depth. So I'm going to push my depth a little further, 3 seconds on the way down and up. And we're going for 20 reps each side. So 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up. And we're gonna tap and go. And again, my knee is tracking over my toe. I've written this as a Cossack squat or Cossack. I've heard both, but with that, traditionally this toe pops up. If that is too much mobility-wise for you, don't worry. Same thing in the warm-up, just keep practicing with your toe down. But this increases the range of motion, the flexibility in the hamstring, as well as the adductor. Okay, I have 5 more on this side. 5, 4, 3. And I've worked with many people on these. A lot of people that are really tight and stiff. So again, if you're like, this is impossible, just go for a higher height and really work in your range of motion, and you will thank me later once you have gained this mobility and you feel a lot more loose and relaxed. Okay, left side. Just gonna slide this over a bit. I do feel like I see a lot of comments or questions about inner thigh work, and I think it stems more from people wanting to shrink their inner thighs and make them smaller and lose fat. You can't spot reduce, you can't pick a place and directly spot reduce fat there. So this is laterally moving, which means we are getting the inner thigh, but it does not mean that we are specifically losing fat in that area. 10 more, I think. Let's try to even out my sides. And the adductor is really important for squatting, lunging, speed, everything, stabilizing the hip, pelvis so much that it is worth it to put attention in. And a lot of what I planned out for these 3 days is that we have multiple planes of movement. We have lots of variety in the body as well as volume for specific exercises. So you guys are building muscle, gaining strength, losing fat, more mobility, all the good stuff. All right, 20, 30 seconds rest. The next one is a dumbbell chest press. We've had different varying degrees of pressing. In week 1, we did a 45 degree, which is one of my favorites to start with. This one is a 15 degree. So you're just gonna move the bench up 1 notch. 1 notch up, very slight incline to a flat. And we're gonna go for a neutral grip, which means our palms are facing in. And as I said, it's just a really nice place to work with pressing. In day 2, we had an overhead press that was neutral. And you will find it's a really great place to work with your shoulders getting into this. And we're gonna go for 17 to 20 reps, 3 seconds on the way down. I have a slight arch in my spine. You always want your butt on the bench, feet on the floor, back of the head on the bench, and your shoulder blades You have that nice neutral arch in the spine. You can really accentuate it when you get into pressing, but just maintain that neutral arch. You don't need to, it's even more, it's a lot more compromising actually if you're trying to press your low back in. So please stay away from that. And final one. Whew. Okay. All right, 30 seconds, and then we're going into set 2. So for my mobility, I can go lower. The more sets you do of these, you're gonna loosen up. But just because that's where I'm going, doesn't mean that you have to go there too. Work with your range of motion, and especially for 20 reps, you're probably gonna be doing this body weight, what am I doing? Before you add weight to it. Okay, so 3 seconds on the way down, tap and up. And just think, once you've done this whole day, you've done 1 full week of training, and you're gonna feel so much stronger and know what to expect going into week 2. You're just gonna keep getting better and better. And maybe you've decided to do a slight deficit in calories. Just keep at it week to week, pushing yourself, getting stronger and stronger and more proficient with each exercise. 4, I think I lost my tempo there. Got excited. 2, and 1, good. Okay, left side. This is my sticky side, and usually I start on my harder side first. Not today. 3. This is gonna be good for my hips after though. Three seconds on the way down. Stretch through those hips. Pushing this knee out. These can be really frustrating because you need to have mobility, which is strength within the flexibility, and it takes time. So just work with where you're at. Doesn't need to be low. Just 2. And last 1. Woo! Awesome. 30 seconds. Set 2 of pressing. Okay. Breathe, recover. Okay. All right. So dumbbell pressing, you want to pick a weight that you're hitting muscle failure close to 20. That's why it's 17 to 20 reps. This is week 1 still, so if you're just under failure, that's okay. But next week, make sure you are challenging yourself on the weights. Last 10. And 1. Perfect. Okay. 30 seconds, 1 final set. Mobility is getting better and better. I'm gonna go down even 1 more. Push myself, challenge myself. I am gonna go on my sticky side first. 10 seconds and then we're on. Okay, last time. And you guys are more than halfway done this workout. Oh yeah, this is low. Woo. 3, 10 to go. 6. That definitely stretchy. Stretchy, stretchy. 3, 2, final 1. Woo! Okay, left side done, thank gosh. Moving on to right side. Last time we're doing this. This individual leg work, so useful for anything you do in life. If you guys are runners, skiers, just wanting to feel good and healthy, so beneficial to move in this way. And I just wanted to create a clean, concise program. There's, I think, 6 exercises on each of the days. Some have 7, but around there. And you just come in and you do your work, and that's it. You go home and you follow the program for 4 weeks, and then we move on. We move on to a whole new phase, new challenges, and you guys will have done all of this preparation work and be loosey-goosey. We're ready to go. Final 4, final 3, final 2, final 1. Oh boy. Feeling that. Okay, 30 seconds, 1 more press. Breathe and recover, 30 seconds. Good. 10 seconds. Last time, 3 seconds on the way down, 17 to 20 reps. Creating structural balance in the body, which means upper, lower, left to right, planes of movement, is really important. So you want variations of pressing, pulling, pushing, all of that in terms of leg strength and upper body. So all of this lifting is going to make you very strong, head to toe, all things considered, all parts of the body. Last one. Woo, that burns. Okay. All right, so we're going to take a nice rest here, 1 to 2 minutes, and move on to the final couple of exercises of today, and I will meet you guys there. Last 2 exercises, guys. I'm so excited to share this one with you, and also brave a little bit because this is tough. Am I brave for bringing this in week 1? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So this is called the back extension, but our focus is glutes and hamstrings. All I want you to do is get set up on the machine. The hip pad is gonna be below your hip so that you're able to bend nicely over. And I just want you to hang out at the bottom. This is how I teach people this exercise. So I'm just gonna hang out at the bottom, and I'm gonna squeeze my glutes together. So squeeze your butt really hard and let it go. Squeeze, let it go, squeeze. And I am only moving as far as I can with that glute squeeze. So just hang out, get used to that sensation, because we have 20 reps. And I'm gonna go through many stages of this exercise with you. So 10 to go, squeezing the glutes. This setup is at 45 degrees. Some of these have a little number on the side that you can see. The higher the incline, the higher the degree of the incline, the easier it is, the lower it is, the harder it is. 45 degrees tends to be what is set on most gyms, and they don't even have these degrees where you can change it. So I just wanted to start there with 45 degrees if you guys are curious about that. Final 3, just squeezing your glutes. My toes are pointing forward. I am very specific about where your toes are going to be for this. It's gonna help you so much in lifting. And done. Okay. Some people see stars or feel a little lightheaded after that because you're upside down. So just give yourself a moment, collect your thoughts, and we're gonna move on to an ab exercise. So this ab exercise is a plank on the ball, and again, I'm gonna add variations to it. For some of you, this might be quite challenging just to hold yourself up on the ball. So if you need to use a wall or a bench, you totally can to hold that 30-second plank. I'm gonna start away from the wall, nice 30-second plank, so I'm not collapsed onto the ball. I am up nice and strong, hands are apart, and nice tight core, long line, and we're hanging out for 30 seconds. Perfect, the clock was right on 30. So we will hang out there. Again, maybe you guys have been doing lots of planks. So the stability ball can add a little bit of difficulty for you. But where are you at with your core connection, your pelvic connection? All of this is gonna go to support your lifting. So even if I'm throwing an easy exercise at you, where are you at with it? How connected are you to your body? So we've done 30 seconds. I'm gonna add, of course, every trainer does. So I'm gonna do a little rollout, pull back in, out, back in, and we're gonna go for 10. Just a small roll might be enough for you, but find your challenge. 7, 8, 9, 10, awesome. Abs fired up, 30 seconds rest, and we're heading back over to this guy. So this might be intimidating. This is a hip hinge exercise. Any hip hinges, we had our single leg RDL, we've had our hip thrust. We are looking for glutes and hamstrings in this type of work. This hyperextension, so anytime I squeeze my glutes, my hips are gonna extend. You might have done quad stretching where a physio or massage therapist is recommending for you to squeeze your glute to get deeper into your hip and psoas. So that's what I wanted you guys to feel, is that sensation of getting hip extension by just squeezing your glutes. Low back is really common. I mean, this is called a back extension, which is very confusing. I would want very little to none. In the beginning, you might get a little bit. It's okay because you're having to hold yourself in position. You want to strengthen these muscles as well, but not a lot. My primary focus is glutes and hamstrings. So we're going to start to go for the full range of motion. My pivot point, my lever is here. It is not here. So if you guys are lifting yourselves up and pivoting this way, all of your tension is going to be going down through the back. But with that focus of squeezing your glutes, you're going to come up to your height. So this is a body weight, but my full body weight is accentuated on this lift. And that might be enough for you guys to just go very small. Some of you might have the strength to come up to neutral. We are not going anywhere past and compressing through here. I'm just going neutral because my focus is my glutes and my hamstrings. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000 up. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000 up. And we're going for 17 to 20 reps. And I love this exercise. It is challenging to teach it, so don't worry if it's not making sense to you. You have 3 sets to practice it today, and then move on. And then next week, practice it again. And we're gonna do it for a total of 4 weeks. And if you guys are practicing, you are gonna be getting better and better at this every week, and it's worth the attention to do that. I've done thousands of these, and I'm always demoing them to clients, and I love hip hinge exercises. They can be really tricky to learn. So just go with your range of motion and where you're at, and really try to learn how to move your body in this manner, keeping this space out of it, just hinging from the hips. I think this is last 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Awesome. So definitely feeling my hamstrings and my glutes there. 30 seconds rest, and then I'm going to plank. So even just showing from standing, I'm essentially doing this on the lift, and I am not doing this on the lift. And it can be really tempting, but even if you have a mirror, just set yourself up with the mirror, practice your hinging. You will get there, but you won't get there if you give up on it. You have to practice. All right, so 30-second plank. Breathe. Where's your core connection? Where's your pelvic connection? Strong foundation for next phase. So strong core building. 5 seconds. And we're gonna go for 10 rollouts. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, guys. 30 seconds rest. 1 set to go. Woohoo! And I am going to add a dumbbell to this. What do I want? What do I want? Do I want to go crazy? I don't know if I want to go crazy. I worked out yesterday and today. So for demo, let's do 20. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different loading patterns you can do with any exercise. I'm going to get you guys to do a dumbbell front load for this one over a plate. A plate can be quite limiting in terms of how heavy you can go. Once you guys nail this exercise, you'll probably find that you can leverage a lot of weight. You can also do back-loaded, but those are all very specifically programmed. So one is not better than the other. One has different functions or different goals. So just sticking with this dumbbell, but I think a lot of you will enjoy being at body weight for quite a while with this. So I wanted to give you some examples. So when I'm doing, if you guys are familiar with a deadlift, your arms are kind of out long. So they are not having to hold the weight to my chest because that can get quite tiring. So I like to hold the dumbbell out long, and I'm really focusing on my hinging. Squeezing my glutes, toes pointing forward, don't let them drift out. There's very specific times where we would program toes turned out, toes turned in, which is really cool and awesome when you can be specific like that. Just keep at this neutral, toes forward. 7 left, I think. 6, 5. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Woohoo! Okay, legs done. You guys did awesome. 30 seconds rest. And we are doing our final plank. There, definitely feeling that. Definitely feeling lit up. Lit up in the legs. All right, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. And we are finishing this off. One final plank. Then you guys are done week 1. So good. Almost there. Okay. 30-second plank. Last time. Core connection. Pelvic connection. Breathing throughout your whole body. You know, typical trainer lost track of the time, so I'm gonna guess 5 more seconds. It's like that yoga teacher that leads you in the pose and you know it's done. Okay, 10 rollouts. All right, you guys, we are done. 3 days of training, intro to full body strength and conditioning. So excited to work with all of you and get this program up. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So this is phase 1. You got to do all 3 days in 1 week, and then again the next week, and do it for 4 weeks. And then we're going to do a new phase and progress everything week to week, which is awesome. So enjoy. I will see you guys in the gym. And I'm done.